I'm messing everything up over here. There it is. It's good. All right, I'm in. Hey, I'm firing my producer. I don't have a producer. It's me. Hey, folks. It's folks. Folks. I want to tell you. Come on, man. It's 8 o'clock on November 4th. And welcome to Cool Crap We Love. My name is John Peasy, and we're here to talk about all the things that we loved growing up with, all the cool stuff. I'm starting to feel like an old guy when I talk about stuff like this. I am happy to be here tonight with my partner on this, Walt. And before I bring him on, we were supposed to have tonight another guest who actually hurt his back and was not able to hold his phone up because his back was hurting. So he's going to be rescheduled for like another week or so from now. I'm sorry to say. If anyone was looking forward to see him, I apologize for his back hurting. But things happen. Look at the election. Things happen. The world is upside down. We live in a clown world, and I'm happy to be part of it. So let me bring on my co-host of Cool Crap We Love. You all know him, and you may not like him. Today he looks like a perverted priest, but he's here tonight. Welcome, Walt Pops. Pops. How do you say that? Walt Pops a Pimple. I got it. There it is. Bring him on.
That's what it says all the time. You had the references going. That's going to be your new catchphrase, Johnny.
What's that?
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. That's going to be the new thing. It's going to be the new Saturday Night Live skit. Come on, man. Jim Carrey's going to have a career again.
That might be the thing for the next 4 years. It looks like it looks like it looks
like it's going that way.
Yeah, but you know us, we're not political, so we don't talk.
No, we don't bring the political up. But I did get a call to Billy Reed today. Called just to make sure, just to confirm, and he did say he was lifting up his dog, and he hurt his back. And as I was talking to him, he was laying on the floor. So yeah, I said, "Don't worry about it."
Oh my goodness, is that bad?
I know. Listen, he's in a token.
Was it Chihuahua? What kind of dog was it that he's lifting up? Like a 500?
It might have been a hot dog he was eating, for all I know. I don't know.
Is it one of those like 500-pound dogs with the barrel underneath that it comes to? What is that dog that
Saint Bernard?
Saint Bernard. Yeah, like a 500-pound Saint Bernard.
Yeah, no. He told me that he was. I mean, he's in the tokens. That was back in the 1950s or 60s. You know, the tokens.
I'm not as old as he is, and my back goes out now and then as well. and I not even from dog. You just twist a certain way, move it out of cars sometimes.
So this is 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks
yeah,
in
I
a
know.
row.
Well, hey,
last week he didn't cut his hair.
It sounds like he might be one of those guys that's a little, he's a little. What do they call it?
Little technologically impaired.
Well, that would be another issue. I was thinking that maybe. Listen, I'm not looking. I don't want to make fun of the guest, of course. I mean, right. I'm sure if he threw his back, he threw his back. These things happen.
Hey, we get him. But you know what? I had in my cell phone somebody I wanted to bring on here anyway. And he's going to be a better guest anyway. Keith Crane.
Wait, you shouldn't say he's going to be a better guest. That's not nasty. Now we're knocking the other guy. I'm sure he's fine. He's a good guy, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean a different guest. I'm sorry. I mean a different guest.
Different guest. Actually, this is very nice of Mr. Keith Crane to come on. And we were just talking to him off the air. And he's a really great guy. And nice guy and full of great stories. And I didn't remember, and I am embarrassed to say. All right, because tonight's show is about what?
It's about old music that we used to listen to, old music groups that we I could have picked, I could have picked 70s and 80s. Anybody could pick Led Zeppelin. You could pick Aerosmith. We didn't do that tonight.
I wish you would have.
So you would have known a little bit more.
Yeah,
but this is the music that my father used to listen to. My father used to put the oldies on the TV. When the music stations were on the TV, or you'd have the record player going. This is what this is. The record player with the 5 records on it that one would drop down and land on the other one and play with the record needle. And then you'd have to put a penny on top of the record needle. You'd have to tape it on because it wasn't going through the grooves. And then when it really got old, you had to put 2 pennies on, and then you had to put 3 pennies on. So
I remember also buying needles for that phonographic. Remember the needle? Because as the thing came down, you had to replace the needle every now and then. It was a little sharp.
I never did.
Oh.
I don't even know how to replace the needle on a Victrola.
A Victrola, that's right. And it used to also be, I believe, there was that little plastic round
The little
insert
thing in the
that went
middle
in.
for 45s.
Right. What was that thing? It looked like it was something you play a guitar with. Like it looked like a
A guitar pick.
yeah. It was really small and round. They made them in yellow, I believe.
Yeah,
They used to be
yellow, and it was like a little peace sign that was mangled.
Yeah, yeah. You know, those days were interesting, and we sound like old fogey again. Welcome to Martin Paints. Welcome to Martin Paints.
Welcome to Martin Paints.
I'm Joe Franklin.
I'm Joe Frank. I was in my car the other day, and I was listening to the radio, and I heard Casey Kasem, and all I kept saying was, "I'm Casey Kasem." Okay, and we tried to Bob Rumba screwed that up so
screwed it up
badly.
really bad. But now he has high-end internet. He could do it now. We can get him in there to play it.
We get him in here. You know what? We're gonna have Casey Kasem next week.
Yeah, from the beyond.
From the beyond.
Casey, are you there?
Let's bring up some of these groups, man.
All right, I need your help because this is like heavy lifting for me tonight because I have to tell you that I am not I'm a decade behind here because I grew up in the 60s, right? And
this is the 60s, all right, 50s and 60s.
Yeah, but in the 60s was a big influence on music. And as a young kid coming in, like even my parents, I mean, like the Beatles, the Stones, Cream, it was like all, you know,
they did drugs.
Oh no, I don't think they did drugs. Well, they must.
You think your parents didn't do drugs?
I don't know. They
have a kid that thinks puppets are real. What do you think they did?
All right, they were heavily smoking the crack. But I do remember back in those days. I do recall that there was albums. They had these album collections, like stacks of them that you'd go through. They were so cool. It was cardboard.
I got them.
Yeah, and all those pictures. You still have them.
I still got them.
The vinyls, as they call them.
Vinyls, yeah, the big albums.
Yeah, and I do remember the music though. There was a lot of folk music. Remember a lot of, and I did like a Magic Dragon kind of thing.
Yeah, but I didn't pick those folky groups.
I know, but I did enjoy growing up in that, and I did enjoy the rock and roll of it. And I also loved the peace music. Was really great. I mean, it's My Sweet Lord, and all that kind of stuff. It's beautiful music. It's great. What's his name? Harry Chapin. Chapin. And then also, what about the guy who plays, John Lennon with, We're All One Person and all that kind of great, beautiful, simplistic music. I kind of like it. So this stuff, it's a heavy lifting for me. I need some help from you. So
all right, go ahead.
Are you ready? So let's bring
I'll make it easy for you.
Yeah, make it easy. I'm relying. Oh, people in the chat are going, what? Who's here? What?
Oh, we have Keith Crane from the 1910 Fruit Gum Company. And I'm going to explain to you when Keith comes on how I met Keith.
How you got your teeth. We're interested in that.
Charlie Fish.
Charlie Fish is there.
Is there really a guy named Kevin O'Brien?
Walt Papa Pimple, related to Dr. Pimple Pooper. Kevin O'Connor's on disc adapter. Thank you, Kevin. That's what it was called.
The really original name there, Kev.
John Newman. My mom used to listen to Charlie Pride. Who drove me to rock and roll and drugs.
Charlie Pride.
There you go. All right, so let's bring up Sean. Let's
go ahead. Come on, bring up. What do you got here?
And I do look forward to speaking to Keith Crane. He's a cool guy. And I know his girlfriend, and it's not my baby. I tell him that. So now, okay, everyone knows this.
All right, how do you not know the Temptations?
So what was some of the Temptations? What was one of the biggest hits of the Temptations? Go ahead, Mr. Walt. I'm relying on you.
My girl, talking about my girl. You know that song?
Yeah, I want to cut you off already, but go ahead.
I know, so do I. How about just my imagination?
Great song.
Right. So you knew who that was.
Yeah, but
Ain't Too Proud to Beg.
Yeah, great stuff. As a matter of fact, did I open for these people somewhere along the way? Somewhere, maybe.
Papa was a rolling stone. Come on, man.
Great song. Oh, yeah.
So this is when you were getting your groove on in the back of your VW Love Bug, man.
That one song, I used to love the part where the guy would go, and Mama? Mama. It was really, though. It was something like, and Mama? Is it true to say the Papa whatever the heck he said? It was like, is it true to do? And you go, uh-huh.
Mama. Yeah.
How about this?
Dion on the Belmonts. Dion did a lot of stuff by himself. Let me see what I got on here for Dion. Yeah, you know the songs they did. How about The Wanderer?
Oh, yeah. Huge.
All right, so he did the one. I'm the type of guy that likes to. That song. They put that on in your car on the way up to the Rockin' Horse Ranch. You'll be singing it.
The guy in the middle is Dion, then, right? In this picture, that's Dion.
I would guess so. And the other two are the Belmonts.
So Dion. Okay, all right.
Dion DiMucci, I think he is. How about I Wonder Why? I Wonder Why. Teenager in Love. You know these songs.
Yeah. Well, I watched it because I'm watching the movies coming out of that as a kid, because the movies were from that period. And there was also lots of Westerns. Remember?
Yeah, I'm not a Western. I wasn't a Western guy, except for the Lone Ranger.
I wasn't either, but everyone didn't like the Indians back then. When we go out, when we were little kids, you go out and play cops and robbers. As you got older and when you were younger, you
Cowboys and Indians.
Cowboys and Indians. Today, people like, not only is it politically incorrect, there's the Indians today. The Indians today have a dot on there. It's a whole different culture of Indians that people are going to have.
Plus, they don't even play those games. They just go loot and take a TV.
Not the Indians. I don't think the Indians are doing that, are they?
Not the Indians.
Who are those people? Who are these people that are doing these things?
Who are these people?
All right. So Little Anthony and the Imperials.
Little Anthony and the Imperials. Let me see what we got here for these guys. Little Anthony.
I like this. You have
Shimmy, Shimmy, Cocoa Pop.
Oh, yeah. Big song.
Shimmy, Shimmy, Cocoa Pop. That song. That. And I'm Going Out of My Head.
A great song.
Yeah.
A version of The Temptations still tours casinos. Not at the moment, probably.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Well, not at the moment. Not with COVID.
In 2021.
Yeah. If they last.
Yeah. And, Going Out of My Head.
I think I'm going out of my head over you.
Oh, God. This is the last time we're doing a song thing.
No more.
No more. If
and Mama.
Mama. There's a truth. All right. This is classic.
That's never not going to be funny. Oh, Bill Haley in the comments. Come on. This is the best, man. They had a See You Later, Alligator.
Rock Around the Clock. That's the famous...
Rock Around the Clock was the theme song for Happy Days.
Yeah.
And Shake, Rattle, and Roll. I mean, they had a ton of other songs, but those were the three that you remember.
I love the fact that you've done so much research.
I did a little research.
You're reading notes like off of a telephone.
I'm reading notes here.
Like a politician right there. There you go. Yeah. Nice.
I'm going to put them up here like this.
Any more for Bill Haley? And that's
Bill Haley in the comments. Shake, Rattle, and Roll. I think, what else did it? No, that was Fats Domino. I forgot to put Fats Domino on here.
Yeah, that's a...
Blueberry Hill.
My freedom. Boom, 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 boom.
I found and everybody.
How about this? The Turtles.
The Turtles, man, they were great.
Tell me what they made. The Turtles. I know the name. I think I have actually opened them for them in Staten Island in early 80 at a place called
Flo and Eddie. Flo and Eddie, I think, are the Turtles. But their famous song was "So Happy Together."
Yeah, great song.
Yeah,
great song. Great song.
And you can't not sing that in your car if that comes on.
You know, something about when I listen, I'm thinking about these things is that I recall them all being great harmony. Like that's what's lacking in music today. Everything is yo, 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 pull it in the head. You know, or it's a remake of somebody else's thing. Like this is the stuff that did come out of here was talented stuff. I'm not saying there's no talent in the modern day stuff. I'm just making a point that back in those days, you harmonize with beautiful sound together.
Not now. You hear it's like, just call me angel of the morning. I'm like, what is that?
All right. Let's see. How about the best stuff.
Oh, this is the fruit
company. Wait a minute. This is the guy we have on. That's not fair.
Yeah. Well, I sent it to you just in case.
And he's on tonight. We'll have to.
He's on tonight. We were going to talk about him, but now we're going to talk with him.
We'll talk with him directly. Actually, here. So I'm not familiar with the Kingsmen. What's that all? Louie. Oh, Louie.
Yeah, that's the biggest song, Louie. It was in Animal House.
Sure.
That's another one where everyone's like, and hey, all
right. Now here's something.
You know those words.
Here's something I'm looking at that I absolutely, because she was hot. And they had their own television show, and it was great. But she wasn't that hot here.
No, she wasn't hot there.
She got hot later.
Yeah, she got hot when she left him.
Yeah, nothing like hitting a tree to make a woman get hot.
No, he hit the tree later on.
Oh, that was well. Didn't he ski into a tree at one
Yes,
point?
she left him, became solo. She did like gypsies, tramps, and thieves,
Yeah,
all that
good
kind of
song.
stuff.
Hmm.
And then he became the governor or something of California.
Which is my next plan. That's what I'm doing when I leave the show.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do that. It doesn't seem like it's too hard to win
No,
governorships. And then he went skiing in like Aspen, and then he crashed right into a tree and killed himself.
but I remember watching a biography on these two, and they said that I don't want. I guess we shouldn't get into this, but I do remember that he was the driving force. He was like a really pushing her constantly,
Yep.
and pushing and pushing and pushing. She was very talented, and he was like a driving force behind her.
He owned a lot of her from that show. The Breaking of the Bands was the name
Oh,
of the
really?
show that I saw, and I think she almost had to buy him out of Sonny and Cher. But I got to tell you something. Growing up, that was one of the funniest variety shows
It
that
was
I
good.
remember.
And the fact that she was the tough chick and he was like an idiot guy and she would always put him down was hilarious. Because he was a perfect sad sack. It's almost like a vaudevillian duo coming out. They sing,
Yeah.
they dance, they tell jokes, and they make fun of each other, and it's a beautiful thing.
Remember that song? She was a vamp, a tramp, and total tramp. Bam.
and I do remember also. I think that this is, I guess, at the time, this is when women were really burning their bras and asserting themselves and coming out and being proactive women.
Yeah, they don't do that now, man.
No, now they clean and they cook and they, take care of the house. Back in those days.
No, they don't. That's why they got Uber Eats.
You're right. Women are today, the difference, I was thinking about this not long ago. Some of the women today, like years ago, a woman would be like, you grab her and she'd be like, hey, like, oh, please get away from me. And now a woman's like, a woman will come over and say, no, I want it here. Not there.
Yeah. I want it there.
Yeah.
Or they're saying, is this human resources?
Yeah, that's right. But women today is totally different. They're going to tell you what they want. And then when you're done, they're like, hey, I got things to do.
Yeah.
Got to go. Different world.
Then, now it's like they want to do it right in the back of an alley.
But
outside a bar. Back then you had to move like the what was the smart, what was the smart when they cook, what they put? Oh, the apron. You got to move the apron to the side.
I'm going to leave the reference of politics out of it when you're stumbling.
Smock.
Oh, golf.
I will never use the word smock again for the rest of 2020.
Schmock and golf. Hey, all right, one more, and then I want to bring on. We've gone over too far already. I wanted to bring him in several minutes ago. Where I just keep yapping along. We're like two old ladies talking. Matter of fact, we could both be in wheelchairs right now, inside of a home, saying, "You remember when? You remember when?"
Yeah. Remember Shaggy?
Oh, she was 15 and he was 23 when Sharon got the guy. I didn't know that. Okay, so he was basically really like controlling her from a young age up.
Yeah. Thank you, John Newbert, the stalker.
Cher, Take Me Home. It was a great song.
Yeah. Kevin O'Connor.
Yeah, Eleanor. Oh, look, this guy's he's getting all Eleanor, Happy Together, Tears on My Pillow. Kevin O'Connor. Look at this guy. He's trolling it. He's trolling Kevin.
Hashtag not gay.
Yeah, love and share. Hey,
yeah.
I look great.
Turn Back Time tour.
Kevin, I look great in tights and heels.
Right. Kevin is on that If I Could Turn Back Time tour.
If she could turn back time, she would take away his skis.
She would have slapped them on a little bit earlier.
There was some really great jokes about that too. I don't remember them, but they were great jokes.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, listen.
Let's bring in Keith.
So yeah, this is and I just met him. I wasn't privy to all of the success they've had. Keith Crane, everyone knows them, I think, the most for Simon Says from the 1910 Fruit Gum Company, but he's got gold records. I don't know if Simon Says he had a gold record for 1, 2, 3 Red Light, Indian Giver, and then they had these other great hits like Goody Goody Gumdrops. Everyone knows The Train. Keith began his musical career journey at age 7, and listening to bands like the Beatles and the Rascals, he immediately was drawn into the drums. So he's been the drummer all these years of this group, 1910
Fruit Gum. So let me tell you real quickly the story of how I met Keith. I went onto the marketplace on Facebook and I was buying some golf clubs. I needed a couple extra golf clubs. So I went over. It was in Monroe, New York, and you know, I met him, and we started talking about the theater that I run. And he said he's with the 1910 Fruit Gum Company, and I'm like, yeah, okay, all right. I didn't actually know what he was talking about until he told me Simple Simon Says. I says, oh, that band. And then we started talking, and his girlfriend happened to be on your show with Jackie one time. And I always had him in here to come on to the show. But tonight it was, we had to pull him out a little bit early.
And he also, look at how all the connections are like unbelievable. I mean, the way you, this, her, she, he, there, it's just like, it's just amazing. And he's here tonight. And actually, let's play a little bit of like one of the.
Let's bring him into the famous song.
Okay, I have the famous song, one of his famous songs right here
The
from
famous song.
The 1910 Fruit Gum Company. This was from 1968. Wow, here it is.
We got to ask him which one he is.
He's the drummer. Just want to say something here.
Put your hands in the air. Simple Simon Says. Shake them all about. Simple Simon Says. Do it when Simon says. Simple Simon Says. And you will never be out. Simple Simon Says. Put your hands on your hips. Let your back fall. Simon Says. Simple Simon Says. Put your hands on your hips. Let your back fall. Simon Says. Put your hands on your head. Simple Simon Says. Bring them down by your side. Simple Simon Says. Shake them to your left. Simple Simon Says. Now shake them to your right.
Wow.
Now let me tell you about that song. When I met Keith that day, I put that song on in my car, and I got ass kicking speakers in my car. And I'm gonna tell you something. It sounds really good, really loud.
It is. Well, it's, you know, when you play that song right now, and in my head, it's like, yeah, I remember like that was the party song of the late 60s and 70s. Like you went to a party, that's what you did. They
Everybody was dancing.
And then later on came the YMCA and all these other things as time went on. They became part of this like party kind of. So that's the way I saw it anyway. But well, here he is. So let's bring him on. Keith. Keith founded in 1988, founded Sky High Music, an original music production company in New York metro area, and has built a reputation being a demanding yet fair, open-minded, easy to work with, which has earned him numerous industry awards, which he has a load of awards, which I won't even bring up. I won't even bring him up, but it's skyhighmusic.com. And here he is. When you think of him, you can't play that music. And here he is, Keith Crane.
Crank it tonight.
There he is. I'm going to put him right in the middle there. There he is.
Put him there.
Hey guys,
what's happening, Keith Crane?
how are you guys? I want to make full disclosure that that's not me in the video.
Ah,
You know, I didn't think so.
No, that's Floyd Marcus. He's the original drummer. I replaced Floyd. So I
how long after that? How long?
The band broke up and then reformed back in I guess 20 something years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when the new version with me and original guys. But I wanted to give full disclosure, although I am looking at a gold record here. So
That's all.
Well, what were you doing in 1965?
in 65, oh God, sucking my thumb probably.
Well, he said sucking. I didn't hear anything after that.
No.
No, sucking his thumb. You're probably right around our age, right?
Yeah, I'm 62.
Okay.
All right. So John's 60 there.
Okay. But I have the
John's
strength
gonna
of
be.
10 men.
But
I'm the baby here.
I am the longest tenured drummer, I should say. Floyd only lasted a short time, and
Yeah, but he's in the video. He's in the video.
He is. No, he is. You know, the band is awesome, first of all, and we are. I'm really proud of being in it, and I have to say the band has been playing bigger venues now the past 20 years than it did back then. I mean, larger crowds. Back then, they were, a lot of, although, the band did play with Sly and the Family Stone, and it did a 2-week tour with the Beach Boys after the band left. Yeah, so there's really great stories with that. But we've been doing better than ever now, and we do a lot of multi-act, which I was talking to Walt about possibly putting one together here.
Yeah.
We play with Dennis Stefano from the Buckinghams, and we play with Ron Dante. We're the kings of bubblegum pop.
Right. So it's like a nostalgia night that you do a night of nostalgia and have like several bands in one at a theater.
Exactly.
That's cool, man.
And we play with Ron Dante, who is the kind of the prince of bubblegum pop. He's the Archies, Sugar. And so we book these shows with Dennis and Ron, and we actually become like the celebrity backup band. We actually play with, we learn Dennis's show, we learn Ron's show, and it's fast.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. People have a great time. We're all really good friends. And whenever we get a chance to play those shows, it's awesome. So
look, we have a fan here, Keith. Look at this. Marianne's going. We love going to see 1910 Fruit Gum Company. So much fun. Let's do it again soon.
Marianne's a friend of ours. I met her through my girlfriend Lisa. They're awesome people. We spent a lot of time with them this summer.
That's my daughter. What album did they tour with the Beach Boy? Pet Sounds?
It was after Pet. It was 68. And so it would have been after Pet Sounds, yeah. But Brian was too out of it. And he was, what
does that mean, too out of it?
He was a lot of mental illness and a lot of drugs.
Oh, my goodness.
And so...
you're going to have a lot of that this week.
You say it like it's a bad thing.
Well,
I'm just saying matter of factly.
Let me ask you a question. Have you guys seen that commercial where there's a guy sitting there and the woman comes on and goes, "What's the matter?" And he goes, "I don't know. People are telling me I shouldn't do these things, and everybody's talking bad about me." And she's like, "Come with me." And they take a walk, and they talk about schizophrenic medication.
I don't know if
I got a DVR. I go right through the commercials, bro.
Now, John, are you sure that's a commercial?
Probably not. I'm making it up in my head.
Bravo.
We just talk off air here. I'm like your people.
I am a ventriloquist, and I do talk to myself, so it could be. It could be.
Oh, this is true.
I actually went to therapy saying that, I said, I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to an invisible son. And he says, really? He says, let me talk to the sun. I said, he doesn't exist. It's like one of those kind of freaky things. Hey, let me ask you this. Now, when you started mentioning these other hits the gold 1,
2, 3 Red Light.
Yeah. A lot of people, you don't associate it right away when you think of the 1910 Fruit Gum Company. You clearly think about Simon Says, but 1, 2, 3 Red Light and right away and goody Gumdrop and like boom, be like, oh yeah, I forgot all about that.
Here's the cool thing about Indian Giver and 1, 2, 3 Red Light. It's also cool that the legacy of the band is kind of moved into the 70s and 80s because Indian Giver was covered by the Ramones.
Right.
Hugely influenced by the pop music of the 60s, especially the late 60s. Us and other acts like us. Joan Jett also covered Indian Giver.
Oh, I didn't know that.
2 really cool versions.
Cool.
Obviously, Ramones is hyper speed, and Joan Jett's is more laid back. But the Talking Heads did 1, 2, 3 Red Light.
Love the Talking Heads. I didn't know that either. I want to look that up.
Because you can't even tell it's 1, 2, 3 Red Light until it sort of hits the chorus. It's David Byrne's quirkiness, but it's really cool. So,
now, do you get the royalties on that, or does Floyd?
Walt goes right to the cash.
Nobody. I hate to say it. Frank Jekyll, our fearless leader and founder of the band, would have more backstory about that. But problem is the producers, Castanets and Katz, were the ones that basically owned, everything. The band really didn't make a whole hell of a lot of money. Had a great time. Band's making more money now than probably ever did back then.
That's cool. That's cool.
Here's an
Hey, tell
interesting
Johnny.
question. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, tell Johnny. He was telling me the story of Simple Simon, what it originally was and what it turned out to be.
Please tell. That's a great question. I have no idea. Go ahead.
Yeah, it originally started out as a calypso type of song. The songwriter came in, and the production company, Casnets and Cats, and Buddha Records thought it was a hit, and they recorded it, a different version of it before the band got its hands on it, and didn't do very well. And when they signed the Buddha company, they said, "We got this song, and we want you to do it." And that back then, you know, they kind of insisted. You didn't have a choice. I mean, the band wanted to go down its psychedelic roots, but they wanted this pop song. So the band took it into rehearsal, and they hated it and didn't want to do it, and but gave it a go and came up. They listened to Wooly Bully, if you remember that song.
Great song.
And they took that groove and that feel, and they applied it to Simon Says, and they brought it to the label, and they played it for him, and they go, "That's it, we love it." Cut the track, and the rest is history.
I just want to tell my friend Guru Ted that little beep of the phone that you just heard is not my phone, because every time it beeps, he does it drives him nuts. It wasn't mine. I have my beep off. It's yours. As you look down, it's got to be you, Walt. Bad.
No, I'm on my phone.
Oh, then it's Crane. So
is it me?
It's quite okay. It's just quite all right. It's just quite all right. I don't mind the little beep at all. So somebody just Craig just asked, are there any groupies these days?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not a lot of teeth. Oh. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, you know, the funny thing is we get fans from all ages. Groupies, you know, we have people that they've avid fans. We have people that have follow the band around all over the Northeast into the, you know, we've had people come out to Ohio, you know,
really
follow us and other groups out there. You know, we'll play out in, you know, South Dakota and see people that we see in New York. You know,
they come over, get some lady, "Can you sign my breast?" And you say, "Sure." And she unzips her she takes off her shoe.
What? No,
right. Anybody ever throw granny panties up on the stage at you guys?
You guys are killing me.
No, but it's so funny.
I'm the drummer. I'm in the back. I'm in my own little condominium back there.
You like being the guy in the back rather than the guy in the front? I
love it.
You do?
I like, you know, everybody says, you know, the singer and the guitar players, they get all the glam. The drummer is the one who drives the bus. I control it all back there.
My favorite drummer, well, turned out to be a great singer, was Peter Gabriel. He used to be part of what was it part of?
Yeah, Genesis.
And yeah, and he was great, but then he's a great singer.
Yeah, I like him.
And then obviously Phil Collins is a monster drummer.
Awesome.
Great
awesome.
singer and songwriter.
How about Styx Henderson?
Don't know him.
That movie, That Thing You Do. He was the drummer.
I got to tell you, that's a great. I talked about that movie. I did a rant on Facebook once about that. That's
a great movie.
It is a great movie, and as a professional drummer, a musician, you know, when I see these biopic type of movies, and that movie, like that movie, the one about the jazz drummer with the guy who does the commercials, the farmer commercials. What's the movie? It was about this drummer, and it was a terrible movie because it represented a drummer and a musician in such a weird way. You can tell the actor really didn't know how to play.
The music, yeah.
And I forgot the name of the movie, Whiplash.
Oh yeah,
movie. And it was brutal. He played, you know, they play. It was like supposed to be a conservatory level musicians, jazz musician. It was awful. And what I went off on a rant about it because, you know, it was so unconvincing, the portrayal of supposedly a conservatory, which puts you in almost a professional level of a player. But That Thing You Do.
He was good, Tom Everett Scott on the drums.
It was awesome because they got Tom Hanks, whose movie it was, made sure that every single actor knew how to play their instrument as if they were cutting it for real on record. And if you watch them, they're playing the right chord changes,
Sure.
right grooves. Everything is dead on. That's what makes that movie so great, besides the music and the acting, is that they're portraying a one-hit wonder band and they all playing their instruments. And that's what makes it really cool.
I hate when you have like fake playing, like that 1-800 Cars for Kids commercial.
Oh God.
But they're not even strumming right. It's like, why bother?
It's like watching that old video from the 80s, Addicted to Love. Those beautiful models trying to play the guitars to
Yeah.
But it was
I love those beautiful.
Palmer,
and they're
right?
all just doing this and going like that.
The red lipstick
Yeah.
and the black hair and the hot dress. That was pretty hot. They were,
Yeah, they were hot though.
And we all loved it, but it was hysterical to watch it.
It's a new world, though. I mean, right now, you know what? I'm in New Jersey, just got approved for marijuana. So I'm going to smoke pot all day long and buy a My Pillow and listen to that car commercial. That's my day. I'm done.
Followed up by Simple Simon Says, really loud in the car.
When
I
grew
can't
up,
get over
like
the fan base thing about though. I keep thinking like after the show, somebody comes over. Hey, Keith, can you please rub this on my back? This medicine.
Can you sign my Ben Gay?
It's not quite that big. But we do get a huge, we always do meet and greets after the show.
And people love it, right?
And, after the show with the lobby, all the acts line up, tables, and we sell merchandise and sign autographs. And I got to tell you, it's so much. Some people don't like it. I love it because we get to talk to the fans.
Sure.
And they're so grateful that we're still keeping the music alive. And we always say, you're the ones that are keeping it alive. We're playing it. Without you guys, we're done. We're retired.
And let me ask you a question before you go play one of those venues, because as a performer, I see this from my perspective as a comic, but I don't know if it's the same in music. I would presume it's the same. Are you grateful every time to play it? Like, in other words, even though we may do a repetitive act sometimes, and you could change it up and add a little there to an end, to the beginning, to the middle, to the whatever. But sometimes, you get tired of doing the same thing over, and you wish you could just totally do something different. But the people want what they want. And on the other hand, you think, well, wait a minute. You're so graced to be able to have a product that people just want over and over again. You have to get focused and say, hey, I'm here for the purpose of making people happy with what they want.
Correct.
Exactly. Personally, I never get tired of it. I treat every gig as if it's the first gig, because a lot of times, most of the time, these people are seeing us for the first time. There's a lot of people who are playing, down in your neck of the woods, John. We play the State Theater quite a bit in New Brunswick.
Yeah.
We do that once or twice a year with a multi-act show. And these people, many of them have never seen us. A lot of them thought that the bands were broken up and not.
There you go. Yeah.
And when they get to see us and hear the hits, and I have to honor that. I have to be, very grateful that they're coming. And I treat it. I've always said the day I stop enjoying it is the day I'm done. And I still feel like I'm 7 years old when I picked up a pair of drums.
You're absolutely right, Walt. I'm done.
I was hoping you were going to say that.
Yeah, I can't, continue to play. And I'm not going to mention any names, but I know a lot of people out there who just phone it in.
Just mail it in.
You've probably seen it too. And you could just tell they're just dialing it in and phoning it in. And I love it. I love it. We're really blessed that we get to play in front of thousands of people at any given moment. And
the worst thing that could happen is I go see the 1910 Fruit Gum Company. I've been blasting Simple Simon Says over my Bose speakers in my car all the way there. And then I get there and the song comes on and you guys sing it differently than what I wanted to hear.
Well, of course, it's, the voices change as you get older.
That's fine. That's fine.
The band
keep the same melody and the same way the words are sing.
We play. We're sticklers for staying to our records.
Good.
We tempo, keys, everything, and we besides doing our hits and all our top 50 songs, we also do, as a lot of these other acts do, we pay tribute. We'll do covers of tributes of friends of ours. We'll play Happy Together because we know the guys in the Turtles, Flo and Eddie, and we, and actually Ron Dante from the Archies is now part of the Happy Together's tour doing that. So we'll play
that's awesome.
the grassroots songs because we play with the grassroots, So well, of course we won't play it when we're on a show with them, but we pay homage. We tribute, our peers, and it's a lot of fun. And one thing that we do, I'm proud of is and a lot of people come to us, and because a lot of bands play the tracks now, even the old bands, and they say, "Are you guys playing the sequences and tracks?" And we go, "No, because you sound like a record." And because we really pride ourselves on nailing the parts.
That's cool, man. That's good though, because that's what people pay for.
Exactly. They don't want to hear improvisational stuff. You want to go to a jazz club. You can solo, you can take out a solo or something a little bit. We're playing a Beach Boys song.
Yeah.
That's fine. But, if we're playing, 1, 2, 3 Red Light, we're playing it and we're doing it exactly like the record.
Like the 45.
That's right. And
that's the way it's got to be done, man. I've gone to Kiss concerts where they're singing rock and roll all night, but they're singing it different because they're bored singing it for the 9,000th time that week.
We've played it a million times, these songs, but we play it. We really pride ourselves on really nailing it, record accurate, and
that's cool, man.
Again,
that's great.
It's what people expect, if they want us to hear, blow our brains out, go to a club and listen to a fusion band or something. But we're a pop band, and
go to a protest.
Or go to okay.
You want to blow your brains out. How did you start though? Like, how did you come up? I know it's terrible. How did you come up as a musician? Like as a kid, you started playing the drums, and then how did this lead you to where you are now?
Well, like I said before, the minute I picked up a pair of drums, I've always loved music, and the minute I don't come from a musical family, and there's a joke in there somewhere, but I won't go there. But I picked up a pair of drumsticks. A neighbor of mine was a drummer, and I was totally blown away by what he did, and he started giving me lessons. And the minute I picked up a pair of, actually not even drumsticks, they were chopsticks, I think, and I put on whatever early 60s, mid 60s Rascals and early Beatles, and I just said, this is it. This is what I want to do. And it wasn't about making money. And that's why this COVID thing coming a full circle, I'm almost back to where I was, because John, we were off air. We were talking about, we're not working really, not like we used to. We're not working these big venues. We can't, they're all closed. So when I started playing, I did it because I loved music and I knew it was in my heart and my soul. So I just started, developing, taking lessons. Of course, my parents didn't want it. They didn't want me to be a professional musician, but I kept on pushing. My father came from a business background, and I kept on pushing, and my stubbornness and my stick-to-itiveness got me to the point. And I started, I moved out of the house at 18. I started playing bands when I was illegal in bars, and doing that whole thing. And one thing led, reputation. I started teaching, and then backtracking a little bit. I had a car accident when I was 13, and I couldn't play drums because I was in traction. So my parents bought me a guitar. So thank God for that, because I learned how to play a melodic and harmonic instrument, and that got me to a point where now that's part of my composing tool. And so it got me. I meandered a little bit, but I'm born and raised a drummer. I always say that, but I play guitar, bass, and keyboards, and I do that in my recording studio. And
which you're in right now, right? This is your.
You see a part of it, but the main room is over there, with a drum guitar and everything. But it's a
lot of guitars in there for a drummer.
Yeah, I got more guitars than I do drums, I think. My friends always say you got more guitars than guitar players do. But
Keith, who did you grow up listening to?
Ringo, Dino. As far as drummers, I'll start with drummers. Dino Danelli was a huge a huge influence on me. And the cool thing was that year, and I loved the Rascals. And years later, I landed up playing with Eddie Brigatti. So you be careful what you wish for, right? Because all of a sudden you start playing with your heroes. Now,
yeah, that's cool, man.
You become them. All of a sudden you're now not
right. You're absolutely right.
You're a peer. And
awesome. Same thing happened to me. I'm actually now doing a show with John.
And I was wishing for a little head, and all of a sudden I went, hello.
Okay, check please. Is the show over yet?
No, honestly though, it's true. It's like people don't realize though in showbiz, they always think that it's all glitter and fun and it's everything. And they don't see the travel. They don't see the when you don't sleep. When you don't feel well and you still have to perform well and all the things that go into. They don't see all of that. And yet, in the end, you still love it. I mean, it's just part of It's if you love what you do and you're giving it away, who's better than you? And the money's not. It's not about the money, even though the money does come if
it happens. You need it though.
But look at Walt. Walt, you're doing something here that you've never done before. Now being a priest.
Yes.
Yes, Father. Bupala.
Forgive me, Father.
I am.
It says here, Lisa says, we are doing a remake of Goody Goody Gumdrops.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Lisa and that's my girlfriend. Hi, honey. I love you.
What?
She was the one that was on Jackie.
Yes. Yeah, nice, great girl.
And I'm producing and we're co-writing a record. We figured since we're not making any money because we're stuck in, we decided
make a record.
We're making it's a vanity record that we always wanted to do, but we never had time to do. And it's funny, that's what I was talking about before, going full circle from when I was a kid, not thinking about making money. I just did music because I loved it. Now, since we can't make money because there's nothing available, my clients are not coming into the studio, blah, blah. Everything is kind of just come to a screeching halt. It's okay because now we're going back to our roots of loving music, no client pressure. I also do a lot, I used to at least do a lot of TV commercial music and scoring for TV and film and blah, blah, blah. And that stuff's not happening. So and record production also. So let's have fun and make our own record. Write a 6-minute song and not have to worry about it.
This is what COVID has done, though. It made people realize. Yeah, COVID. Look what's done for us. I wouldn't be doing this right now if it wasn't COVID. I'd be out doing a gig.
Right.
So COVID is, as a matter of fact, I realized after being home for a very, very long time around your family that I want to go back to work.
Yeah, but
I do miss.
This was invented because of COVID. This show was invented because of COVID.
This should be cool COVID that we used to love. That will be next year.
Yeah, but in like 2028, we're going to be talking about, hey, you remember COVID?
Well, it's interesting how this thing is, this horrible pandemic has really turned us around and made us really shoot from the hip and figure out different ways of doing things. Like you guys put this show on because of it. And, I'm doing things that I had never really thought about doing before because I have the time now. And you got to take some really wonderful things out of a horrible situation. And you're making lemonade out of lemon, as they say, to sound like a cliche. It's, it's really, in a way, it's kind of an awesome time because we're all reinventing ourselves.
Or chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Exactly.
When I was talking about this. Now this has actually put a whole new spin on entertainment. Meaning, like over at the theater, I can have the 1910 Fruit Gum Company in the theater, but I could also, instead of limiting it to the 689 tickets that I can sell in the theater, now I can put it on here and say, hey, we can sell unlimited amount of tickets to people in Belgium if we want to listen to the 1910 Fruit Gum Company, and then everybody shares in it.
What you would want? Would he want that? Would you want to be streamed out during a live event?
I think we would. We were talking off air before. We would love to do something. In fact, we had talked about it, Frank, and I just want to shout out to Frank Jekyll and Glenn Lewis and Eric Tipper, and our wonderful singer Mick Mansueto, who's been dealing with some health issues, and so I'm sending a lot of love out to him. Yeah, he's.
But you guys would be open to something like that, a streaming where if it's whatever what do tickets for your show go for? I don't even know. $30, $40.
It depends.
Depends on the venue, how many seats.
The promoters usually Atlanta, but probably depending upon the seats, anywhere from I would think 40 on up, 40
right
up.
So now you're limited to the 600 tickets or 700 tickets in the theater. But now, if you charge $30 and you put this out there, and you're getting somebody on the West Coast and Idaho and Nevada where there's 6 electoral vote. Oh, sorry, you can sell all of that.
Strayed. You just strayed, didn't you?
No, but you can. Now you're opening it up, and now you might be doing a show for 20,000 people instead of 600.
Yeah. I think we would, again, I'd have to talk to everybody. I try to stay away from the business aspect of it as much as I can. But, I think, in this current, client we're in, climate.
It's happening. It's happening, whether you guys like it or not. It's happening. I talked to John about
it. It is happening. It is happening. The thing, but here's my point, Keith, and you can tell me if I'm wrong about this. Take it from your position. So he says, "Hey, come to the theater. 600 seats. We'll do a show, and we'll also stream it out to the country." Right. Mm-hmm. So now, let's say you do the 600 seats, you do 400 seats. Maybe he does only 50% because that's what the state says right now. And we start streaming, and then all of a sudden he could sell 1,000 tickets into streaming, and it goes from Germany, upstate New York to California, whatever. Now, when you go to tour, let's say in California or the Midwest or Chicago, and there's 100 people that saw you on the stream for no money, will they come see you and pay more money? Is it encourage your next theater or discourage your sales of your next theater? That's my point.
People in the world not to take that chance.
Well, it's an interesting question because it's a double-edged sword. Used to say to me, a person who works for free knows the value of his worth. So you got to be careful, about that balancing act of do you. I personally think it would be a great way to promote, especially overseas. Now we've been trying to get over in England for years because Simon Says was #1 in England for a long time, and I think it was number one and number 2, and the band never supported the record, never went over there, never went to Europe. So they've been talking to some promoters over there, been trying, but it's expensive. I'm talking about pre-COVID, and but if we do what you're talking about, do live streaming, concerts, that might give somebody over in Australia or Europe say,
right,
bring these guys over there. So it might be worth the promotion to do a show.
That's why it's a double-edged sword, because yes, you may gain new people and you may lose some people that may have said, well, we saw them online, it was great.
Right. We don't need, but there's something also, I'll look at it as more of a promotional. There's something also about the live energy of being in a room.
Absolutely.
Watch a YouTube video, watch live streaming of a concert, and it's awesome. And people will pay sometimes. I know there's concert window and there's all different mediums. But at the end of the day, I think, promoters will say, that's a good show. I want to bring that to Spain. Or
maybe, right. And that's all part of it. And again, you're putting up a $40 ticket. It's not, hey, we might be selling $30 tickets, in which case the fruit gum company is getting 25 of the 30. Why wouldn't you do it?
Right. Exactly.
No, and it's something new, and it's going to be a way that theaters are going to be. I mean, I know somebody who's setting up all these theaters right now with the streaming services. So when somebody comes in, you have unlimited tickets you can sell.
I think it's the new norm. Even after the pandemic is over and done, and I hope it's sooner than later, I think this is going to be the new norm. I think what we have now all had to do is going to be with us. I think we'll be live concerts again. We'll get back to that, but
Sure.
I think this is going to be on top of that. And I think it's great because it's given us a new way of reinventing how to market our music.
Yep.
And our comedy and our shows, all of our entertainment. And I think it's a great thing. I mean, it's a terrible thing that we're in, but
we learned from it.
We're definitely learning.
You're out to God's ears. Let's get it over with.
Yeah, we're ready.
Johnny, don't we ask our guests these questions? You want me to ask them?
Yeah, yes, we need to ask the questions. As a matter of fact, several questions. Go ahead, Walt.
All right. We always talk about this, but growing up, what was your favorite toy as a youngster?
Yeah.
Time's up. Next.
Wrong.
I have to answer this. Oh my God.
Yeah.
When you were a kid,
this shit came right to your head.
Mousetrap. Remember that toy?
loved it.
Okay. The game.
Loved
It
it.
was a game.
It was a good game. Yeah, it was a great game.
Falls
I
on.
never played it. Never played it.
Yeah.
And you know, by the way, that game at the same time had the other one with we had to pull the stuff out of the guy's stomach without the nose.
Operation.
Operation. Yeah, that was the same time. Yeah.
They still make that. Mousetrap, they don't make so much.
Remember Rock'em Sock'em Robots?
Yeah. Rock'em Sock'em Robots was one of our favorites,
Oh,
too.
that was my favorite too, Rock'em Sock.
Hey, Jimmy. We met Jimmy at we did a Sonny Geraci benefit. Sonny was the lead singer for Outsiders. Time
Oh, really?
And he was very sick, and we did a benefit, 2-day benefit out in Streetsboro, Ohio. We met.
Oh, that's so cool.
And Jim came up and played with us. He wanted to play with the band, so he came up and played some of our hits. So
How did that
that's awesome.
fundraiser turn out? How did the person get okay? I hope.
he lasted another year, and he passed away. You know, it was an amazing show. It was literally like Woodstock at this venue. It was everybody from the 60s you can imagine were there.
Love it. Do you know I was at Woodstock when I was a kid?
You know,
My aunt told me, she said, my aunt lives in the Netherlands, and she sent me an email. Said, "Do you remember when you were a kid at camp and we were driving home for 3 hours?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "You don't know, you were sleeping. We went to Woodstock. You were there. You were in the back sleeping." I was like 5 years old. So I was supposed to be at camp. So, all right. So his favorite toy, that was one of the things.
His favorite toy is Mousetrap. How about your favorite candy growing up?
Good and Plenty.
Okay.
I've never had that one yet.
And it still is. I'm addicted to it. I've been putting.
Wow. Interesting. That to me is like nice, but not
Turn
like,
your tongue black.
It's something. It's addicting. And
hey, black tongues matter. What's the matter with you, Walt?
Oh, sorry. Favorite TV show growing up?
bringing me Good and Plenty. She always gets it for me. Anyway, next.
Favorite TV show?
From the 60s.
Whatever. When you were a kid.
Lost in Space.
Really? The way you said, really? Actually, Lost in Space is great. I mean, Little Boy Robinson. And what was the name of that guy? He used to go, "Oh, Will Robinson."
That guy.
I love that guy. You when you were a kid, you just hated Dr. Smith.
Oh, I love to hate him.
You love to hate him.
I think I know this trivia that the reason they didn't bring Batman back, the TV show Batman, is because the Batcave was sold to Lost in Space.
Really?
So they used the Batcave as a backdrop for Lost in Space. That's why, because it was going to be picked up for a 4th season, which again, this goes back to my crazy Batman knowledge. And they were going to put it back on for a 4th season, but it was too expensive to rebuild the Batcave again because they gave it to Lost in Space. Anyway,
great trivia.
Crush, destroy, kill,
Look it up.
crush, destroy.
Favorite
these conventions that we do. We would do the Monkeys convention.
Oh, that's got to be great.
All this crazy trivia like that.
That's got to be hilarious. That's got to be so much fun.
Oh, those monkey
The
conventions.
monkey convention?
We've done those, a bunch of times. We were hanging out. We did one in honor of Davy Jones. It was one we were supposed to do a show with him, and he had passed away. And then they invited us to do the Monkeys convention. So it was really bittersweet. But it was, they do it right in Jersey at by the Meadowlands.
I would go. Oh, is that
I know where it is.
October, right? They do the
Well, they
It's
do
not
the
Chiller Theater, is it?
other one. They do a Chiller Theater one, but this one is specifically a monkeys convention, and
Yeah,
everybody.
I work every weekend, but if I was off, I would go to the monkey convention.
I would go to that.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. That'd be so much fun.
Who's left? The only one that's left is Mickey Dolenz.
No, Mickey and Mike Nesmith.
Yeah, but he doesn't do it anymore, does he?
He did.
I thought he didn't like it.
The last one, believe it or not. Here's a story for you. This guy has more money than God, right?
I know why. I'll tell you why. His mother.
His mother invented whiteout, right? Or
Well,
Right.
no, liquid. It was liquid paper. Whiteout was just a brand, but
Wow.
he invented liquid paper.
Right. So he didn't want to get involved. So but he finally agreed to do this convention.
Does he still wear that stupid hat?
I don't even. He locked himself in a room and nobody really saw him. There was a line out the door, and he was charging. The guy had more money than God. He was charging. Now we as quote unquote the celebrities had to charge by rule of the monkey convention. We had to charge for autographs. We didn't charge a lot, but some did, some didn't. But it was just the way it was. Anyway, Mike was upstairs in a private room, nowhere near the rest of us. I mean, Mickey was downstairs with us, hanging out, and he had a line of people, and he was charging $400 to sign a guitar.
Oh,
To sign a guitar?
To sign a guitar.
He wasn't even that good.
Guitar. I mean, he didn't give you the guitar; he just signed it. It's like this is ludicrous. When I heard that, I go, really? Why are you even here? You really need the money? But anyway,
wow.
I digress.
Favorite
Wow,
movie?
that's an amazing story. That's
That's a great
crazy.
story, though.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's
Michael Nesbitt's a douche.
well,
Wow.
no, he was. But then they went out on the road and they toured. Before
I didn't know that. I thought Mickey Dolenz didn't like him.
well, they went out. I guess they had, it was sort of like the Rascals thing. They dangled a lot of money in front of them, and they went out. It was before Peter died. I had met Peter at the show. He didn't look well. He didn't look. He had a lot of health issues over the years, from what I understand. But he didn't look well. Mickey looked and sounded great. I mean, he still sings his ass off.
Wow.
All right. Favorite
Wow.
movie, real quick. Favorite movie.
Favorite movie. Okay. I gotta say, That Thing You Do is a great movie. One of my favorites. Adam-
All right. That's a great movie. And your favorite band besides your band?
Oh man, The Police.
The Police.
But musically,
Could be
Sting,
different.
Sting musically, when you look at, I mean, I play the
He
piano a
loves
little bit,
Sting.
I love Sting. And musically, it's fantastic.
I hate it.
What do you mean you hate it?
I hate
great.
the Police.
It's
Anything but
symphonic.
besides the do, the da.
No,
Well, if I turn the camera on, I could show you one of Sting's keyboards that's in my studio.
let's see it. Let's see it. I'm ready.
Yeah, there's too much stuff here, but
Oh, it's too much stuff to turn around.
you can't. It's in the other room. But yeah, I had a friend who was very close to Sting. In fact, one of my old friends has been Sting's tech guy since the '70s. Funny story about the Chants. You know the Chants, right?
You're over at Poughkeepsie.
When they came to the States and Roxanne, I think, was just breaking, they planned, I mean, talk about the biggest band in the world at one point. They were in a station wagon, they had a small road crew, and they played the Chants in front of 8 people.
Wow. Hey,
I saw over there? Dr. Dirty.
Dr. Dirty.
Hey,
Dr.
Poopalot,
Dirty,
you
John
might
Valby.
like this. Check this out.
That's you, man.
That's my face.
Looks like that sounded like Calypso.
It's funny, I landed up co-producing some material with the producer who did that record.
Really? That's a great record.
He's a great guy.
I met him at the Brigada, and I think I told you this, to Walt. The weirdest thing about, so at the Brigada, I was working at the Brigada Comedy Club, and it's like a theater. It's 1,200 seats at the Brigada. It's in the big red oak room there, and they give you like
950 seats.
1,250.
950.
Or is it? It's like, all right, 1,000 seats. So
The music box.
I worked at Music Box Theater. I worked, and then downstairs they have a buffet that's open 24 hours a day for anyone that's working in the hotel as performers or whatever. You just go down, you put this card, and you could eat dinner or lunch, whatever you want, ice cream, whatever you want. And I go down there, and Sting is sitting down there just amongst the staff of like dealers and croupiers and stuff. And he's just eating a salad with eggs in it and stuff. And I'm walking by and I'm like, get the hell out of here. I'm like, now this guy's probably getting paid like, you know, 100,000 a night to walk in and do an hour song, to do his bit. And he's at the top. He could order wherever he wants. He can go to he could do whatever he wants. He's just eating a salad downstairs. And I was like, hey.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Maybe I am a Sting fan now.
I said, I'm a huge fan. He was just finishing up. And he said, sit down. And he was like, for 2 minutes, and he had to go. But he said, I got to go up to do the gig. But he was like, hey, man, I really, you know, he was just really regular. I was dying to say, let me take a picture with you. But I don't want to be a dick.
Yeah. When did that ever stop you?
That's true. That's true.
It's a slippery slope when you're dealing with, you know, celebrities, especially of that.
I don't even care anymore. I really don't.
I don't care. It doesn't bother me, but you feel like, you know, jerky. All right, so I
met Mariano Rivera. John doesn't know who this is. Mariano, no. You know who it is, Keith, right? Mariano Rivera.
Should I?
Well, he's the most famous Hall of Fame closer in baseball. The guy who pitches the ninth inning for the Yankees.
You're the wrong person as far as sports guys.
That's the same thing with John.
I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot.
Anyway,
I don't know anything about sports either.
Everybody was going up to him and just like worshiping this guy. And I went up right here in Chester. His son owns a collision shop here in Chester. And I went up to him and I says, I don't usually do this. I'm a Mets fan, but I'll take a picture with you. And he was like, oh, man, that's cool. But, you know, I'll go up to guys and I don't care what I say to them.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's
shameless. What can we say? You know,
they like that, though.
I've got
a regular guy.
I've got a million people after the show.
Mine is these are regular. When I and I'm not putting myself on that level, but when we're out and about on the road with all these different acts, you know, I'm standing, you know, in the wings watching another act after, you know, either after or before we played, and I'm standing next to BJ Thomas. What a sweetheart of a guy. I mean, he's an Academy Award winning singer, and he's just looking at me, and I came off stage and he was standing there and he goes, man, you played your ass off with his Southern accent. And I'm like, thank you, man. And, you know, I'm a fan, even though he looks at me as just another performer. And these guys, most of these guys,
they want to be regular people again, man.
No, there's nothing to prove.
They want to be regular people again. That's why you do it. You missed it, John, because you're never going to be able to sit there and talk to him for 2 minutes again. Now I hate Sting again.
I got to tell you though, I've done billions of shows, hundreds of thousands of thousands.
Billion. You are an exaggerator.
I'm going to be president of the United States tomorrow. But I've had millions of people come over to me after shows and say, "Can we take a picture?"
Yeah, we are at $1 million again.
Yeah, and I have a 15. But the more important part is
hello, check please. Check.
It's a joke. It's a joke. Ask Lisa. The thing is,
this thing on.
But after all the people,
oh shit!
I just gave himself a rim shot.
But in all honesty, though, it doesn't ever bother me, whatever, unless you feel like, oh, I got a pimple or you don't look good or whatever it is, you know, like you feel bloated, tired, worn or whatever, you're worn out, whatever. But it never bothers me. However, I will say that if you're sitting there having a dinner and you're chewing a steak and somebody's like, oh, then you're like, somebody's being jerky to you, and you're like, at a family party, you're in the middle of something and somebody interrupts that to like be annoying. That
annoying,
yeah. There's got to be boundaries. I would never do that, and I wouldn't want somebody to do that. You know, we were in the middle of something, but most of the time, you kind of sign up for this stuff, you know.
Yeah,
and when they say to us, it's like the Monkeys convention. Oh, you got to charge. You know, you know
a minimum.
Table's got to charge for autographs and this and that. I mean, it's one thing to buy some merchandise. That's different, but you buying a CD from us or you're buying this, I'm going to sign it, man. You don't have to pay me for that. And some people, you know, I think that goes with the territory. You know, you just have to be ready for it. But yeah, in the middle of a dinner, nah, it's, you know, there's got
a one good woman there, Keith.
Absolutely a joke. What's absolutely a joke, honey?
Hey, listen, I'm going to go on a limb. When you're doing your song, I'm very close to you. When you're doing it, if you need me to go, and Mama, I'll put my voice in your song for you.
It says, and Mama, is it true to say the pop over there?
It's almost like you kind of do your Barry White thing.
Yes. You know, what was the song? The Temptations. Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Papa was a Rolling
Stone.
Well, guys, it's over.
It's not over until I say it's over.
All right, so
he's a very
we
forceful
have
drummer.
you had his favorite food, candy growing up. His favorite. What else are we missing on him?
That was it, man.
A TV show, movie.
Toy candy, TV show, movie, and band. That's all I got written down.
Band, yeah.
Band.
Before, but yeah, you got my life story. You know everything there is.
Listen, this was fun.
It is a lot of fun. We went way over, and I'm having a good time. And I got to say, what we want to know is what's coming up for Keith Crane's future in the near future. And we know you're doing a song with Lisa, and what else are you up to?
Yeah, we're doing an album. Actually, to plug the band. Hey, that just kind of wigged me. Oh,
I meant to do this. I meant to do that. Sorry.
We are.
Watch. Look at this.
Oh,
go ahead, Walt. Go ahead. I have to let you know, Keith. Every time I do this to you, what's happening to Walt is this.
Oh. He's mining.
Yes, he's mining for Bitcoin.
We're actually we're shooting to put out a single. The band. Oh, my daughter's calling me.
He just hung up on his daughter.
Upstairs, right? Kids.
Dad, I'm pregnant. What?
Oh, please.
Hello?
Oh, just tell me about her new boyfriend. It's killing me, you know.
Oh, don't.
I had a full head of hair.
Here we go.
I had a total full head of hair.
Yeah, it's going here too. I'm like,
how old is your daughter?
She's 17 going on 30.
Hey,
17.
It's no, she's a good kid. She's a great kid.
Nah, it's just
Yeah,
rough.
they all are.
Yeah, she is. I have to say that she's listening.
Actually, I think I met her. Didn't she came out that day or no?
You did. Yeah, I think she was. Yeah. But
she came out.
What was it?
She came outside.
So we're
check on Dad.
He had a boyfriend. I thought
we're probably going to release a new song as a Fruit Gum Company.
Okay, and we want to find you. We could find him where?
iMusic.com.
Let me just show you. Here we go. That we have to thank Mr. Keith Crane for coming along. Mama.
Mama.
We could get you at skyhighmusic.com.
You can also on Facebook. You can see me, Sky High Music, Keith Crane, Facebook,
or
Sky High Music, Facebook.
1910fruitgumcompany.com.
That gives us, everything you need to know, even how the name was formed and blah, blah, blah.
Very cool.
I'm telling you, we're going to get him over at the Sugarloaf Theater, man.
Let me know. I'll come open up for him. I'll be clean. Hey, by the way,
that would be fun.
Just want to let you know the song that we played tonight was Simon Says Artist by 1910 by Fruit Gum, licensed to YouTube through Warner Chapel. Right there. It's all right there. That's what we got.
It's all right there, man.
And if you
we
like
don't want to hear that we played it illegally.
That's right. And where do you get us? YouTube.com/
Does that mean you have to pay me that I won't get?
That's right.
Sorry.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Keith. You are a pleasure. Definitely fun. Definitely.
Guys, I had an awesome time. Anytime. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Tonight.
We'll talk
See you soon.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you, Walt. Guys, like, subscribe, check. See you soon. We'll see you next week.
Facebook.
Ciao, folks. Bye.